All right. Hello, YouTube and the YTPC. Welcome to another Random Pipe Lounge live. So, I had started and stopped this stream like 3 or 4 times. Issues abound. Making sure the right camera is showing up and all that. Would have started out great, but I noticed that camera was lagging pretty bad. So I've got this new Logitech Stream Cam that I got, Black Friday deal. Really nice streaming camera, but it doesn't play nice with, well, my laptop. It probably should upgrade that a little bit, but I can make videos with it okay. It does lag a bit doing that, but going live, it really hasn't been working out so well. So it's all set to go ahead and go live for a little bit, and had a few things come up. So apologize for all the notifications. If you were getting a bunch of notifications, I do apologize for that, but I hope it's not too bad. It's maybe a little choppy. Well, we're going to go with it for now. But I've been meaning to go live a little bit. I had planned on maybe doing a live New Year's Eve. Turned out plans changed a bit. Had a friend come over, and then by the time they left, it was before midnight, but I was kind of tired and ready to just chill for the night. So wanted to come on. This is actually it's coming up on 3 years since I actually just it was a Saturday back then. It was like January 30th, I think, is the actual day. But I've been out watching some videos Saturday morning. Virtual Pipe Club was on doing a live stream. And I was just like, hey, looking in my YouTube studio, it said go live. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go live and just see what happens. Just pretty much chatted to myself for about 20 minutes. And that was my first YouTube video. So it took a little while to actually go ahead and make more videos beyond that. But I do enjoy going live every now and then. It's a different experience for sure. With making videos, it's a little more protected, I guess, because you can review the video, edit it, just trash it if you don't like it, whatever. But when you're live, you're on. So I'm actually just finishing up this pipe Graybo freehand here. I'm talking about this in a couple videos. One I posted today, and I've got a couple more videos I'm sitting on right now. They'll probably go up within the next week or so. It's got a little half and half going. So this is a pipe I mentioned. I'm trying to build some cake in this. It's not taking cake too well, but I did put a little honey in the bowl this morning, and that, if that can't build cake, I might as well just toss the pipe. But no, actually, it smokes good either way. So I don't have too much planned. I've got a couple things I'm going to show. I actually just did a yabo on a couple things. Well, if you saw the thumbnail, then I suppose you saw them already. But I did get a couple more Graybo pipes in. I don't want to say love-hate relationship with Graybo, but I like Graybos. It's been kind of hard to find ones that I really like. I found a couple billiards online. West Virginia Smoke Shop has they probably have the best selection that I can find online. So I ordered a couple billiards. They came in. I'll show those here in just a moment. Actually, just finishing this, and then I'll go ahead and load up a bowl maybe, and we'll get into that. I don't know. Other than that, just enjoying some coffee here Saturday afternoon. Let's go ahead and get this one's pretty much done. So sorry, I don't have any music or anything to play. I barely have anything to talk about. So all right, get a preview on these. This video won't be out for a while. I've got a couple more to post. Well, a while, it might be a few days. So I've got the Graybo. This is a Grand Duke. Both of these are very similar pipes. The Grand Duke, and then this is the Graybo Golden Duke. No, they are essentially the same pipe. Golden Duke, I think, has a slightly taller bowl to it, but mainly just a difference in the color of the stain there. Trying to decide which one I should do first. If anybody has a preference, you can vote in chat, of course. Also, so very codger themed this morning. Got half and half and Captain Black Platinum, which I do have like a first impressions video on that will be coming out this week. I was very interested in trying this. There's been a number of videos going back last year when it came out talking about it, and overall I don't mind Captain Black and different varieties. Captain Black Gold was the first tobacco pipe tobacco blend that I ended up buying, and it's pretty good. I tend to prefer the white. The platinum, it's pretty inoffensive. I mean, it's definitely I'd call it an American style aromatic, but it's not a heavy aromatic at all. Early Virginia. Oh, I think there's something else in it. It just says Virginia Burley, a rich aromatic and a comfortable smoke. And I have to agree with that. That's pretty good. Ouch. Better plug this in. Now, sometimes when I plug in the battery on the laptop, it causes issues. Hope that doesn't happen. I hope the audio is still good. I don't know. All right, I'm going to do the Golden Duke first. Golden Duke Dr. Graybo. Now this feels like a very nice solid pipe. These were both like 38. One was like 38.95, and I think the other was 39.95. For a briar pipe, that's pretty decent. Say there's a couple things that I don't prefer about Graybos. One is I've come to like a really nicely shaped button, stem bite area, something that's really comfortable. Now that's one thing about cheaper pipes. You buy any pipe online, you have no idea. Even in person, you don't know how it's going to feel until you put it in your mouth. And I don't know anywhere that would let you put a pipe in your mouth to test it out. It's not too bad. So it's a little thick. I don't like them. I don't like them on the thick side. The other thing I'm not a huge fan of is they do this metal tenon, which I don't know if it's a big deal or not. I mean, it fits good. It's a production method, keeps the cost down, but it's kind of a cheaper feature. The thing I do like about them is they do take the 6 millimeter filters. So this has the Graybo paper filter in it now. I really tend to prefer the Savinelli balsa filters. In fact, the pipes I mainly smoke are the 6 millimeter balsa filters. I like the 9 millimeter charcoal filters as well. I've got like Savinelli Series 3. That's a 9 millimeter filter pipe. Um, not every 9 millimeter filter pipe I've tried is one I like. So I think there's a lot of good pipe engineering that has to go in to make a filtered pipe work well. So go ahead and load up some Captain Black Platinum. I think I've been smoking the half and half this morning. So yeah, this is very much just a pipe stream, some pipe conversation, mostly a ramble. If anyone is watching, if you have anything to add in chat, please feel free to leave a comment. Maybe get a conversation going. But I will mention the Captain Black Platinum. This is not a goopy aromatic. I don't know if you can see it all. It's a nice kind of, it's a finer shag cut, I guess is what I'd call it. Packs nice. I mean, it's not wet at all. I have noticed since these blends moved over to Denmark, they're not using as much of, I don't know if they're not putting as much topping on there or as much of like PG or humectant or whatever to keep it moist. And I think that's actually an improvement. I kind of liked them before, but they would tend to come a little wet at times. And this feels like a very nice solid pipe. Not heavy at all. Not too light. I mean, I've had pipes that feel lightweight, and I mean, typically, that's a good thing. But I like a briar that seems to have a good density, and I find typically, like the Savinelli and Rossi, they just have a nice, I don't know, density to the briar. It feels like quality. They're not too heavy. Light's great, smoke's great. So also I'll say Captain Black Platinum, it's not like a vanilla aromatic. It's more like Captain Black Gold kind of has a almost amaretto almond bark topping to it. A little bit of vanilla there. I'm not really getting vanilla out of this at all. So maybe a little bit of amaretto, a little bit of cocoa. I don't know. And I really picked up these pipes just to have, a couple extra pipes around. I'm always thinking about putting together like a car kit, or I've got some I keep out in the garage a little bit. just decent pipes to keep around. But I think more than just like knock around pipe, extra pipe, really trying to simplify things. So I definitely got my favorites, but I just like to keep it simple. Simple design, just a black stem, brown stain. Don't want to get too hot. So I don't really know what it was that influenced me 3 years ago to just do an impromptu live stream. It was probably boredom mostly, but it was also a desire to kind of jump in and participate more in the YTPC. Hey, Piper said, how are you doing? Appreciate you posting. I'm still very much a lurker. So I mean, even though I'm making videos, more in my nature to be a lurker. So I will pop in on live streams. I don't always comment though. But I guess the other thing is I do find live streams interesting. Um, and I'll go back and watch a replay, but it's also just kind of how immediate it is. Oh, Cosmo's doing pretty good. Haven't gotten together for a while. We have been in the middle of some really cold weather. Obviously, it's winter here, but this last week it's been below zero. When we get together, we hang out in his garage, and there's not. He does have a space heater out there, but doesn't do a lot in weather like this. So we are expecting a little bit of a warm up this coming week, maybe getting into the 30s. So probably try to plan to get together um, maybe this coming week. Yeah, I imagine Wisconsin. We're in Iowa here, so we got hit a couple weeks ago, a couple back to back snowstorms. Actually, wasn't that cold at the time. Just pretty windy. Then this last week, the cold weather just froze everything. So we hasn't even had a chance to clear. Usually a few days a week on, it tends to melt off the streets pretty good, but it's been a mess. Oh yeah, yeah, pretty similar. Even though maybe a little bit more northern there. We got some family in Wisconsin. So it is nice to have Cosmo so close by to get together. This last year or so, it's been a little more sporadic. We haven't had as many pipe sessions, but oh, nice. Hey, Chip, welcome. Just thought I'd come on and do just a bit of a live stream. I was talking earlier that I was planning to do a live like New Year's Eve just to have something to do, but I ended up having a friend come over, so I didn't do it. But I definitely find doing the lives a different experience on how immediate it is. You get feedback, people in chat. I mean, the handful I've done, I get, a handful of people coming by. So I do appreciate it. Especially that first one I did. I didn't know. I titled it like YTPC Live, just hoping I might snag somebody's attention. And I did actually, but I was already done. Donald Hughes, uh, like when I ended the live stream, it posted up as a video, and Donald Hughes had commented pretty, within minutes. And he used to do a lot of lives. I think he's a little busier these days with work, so I can't blame him. Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I think you're able to interact with people, in real time, um, rather than leaving a comment on a video. It's even more like you're there with somebody sharing a pipe. Yeah, Donald Hughes used to do. They called it tailgating for a, a number of different people that would live stream. He'd kind of get a group together, ready to go to the main show. But he did a pretty good live stream on his own. Yeah, it is interesting how things change. Back then there was a bunch of live streams going on. It was a big 2021. That was a big year for live streams. A lot of new people. I mean, that might have been, partially because I was getting more involved in it. I've been watching videos for a number of years, but starting to participate more, comment more. Wasn't really making videos yet. I was surprised because at the time it was kind of rumored like YouTube wouldn't allow you to live stream unless you had 1,000 subs or something like that. They had just they had just changed their policy, and that was kind of the rumor. But you could use like StreamYards or something like that to get on a live on YouTube. And so I just thought, well, I'm just going to hit the button and see what happens. And I had no problem. I mean, I had like 25 subs at the time, no videos, but it worked out. Now I'll tell you here. I've got a Rumble channel too, which is basically it's the mirror of YouTube. All my videos, well, not all my videos, but a lot of videos I do for YouTube end up over there automatically. And they have a live feature that's featured at the top of your page. I always wondered, oh, maybe I'll do a live on Rumble one day, just to have fun with it. And so, I don't know what day it was. This last week, I tried to do it, and you can set up a live, and you can go live, but it won't. You need a third party site to show your video. So otherwise, it just sets up like a waiting, uh, you know, screen. The catch is a lot of, like, I was trying to use StreamYards, but StreamYards doesn't support Rumble automatically, so you'd have to pay to get in. It'd be a custom URL, so you have to pay to use their service to stream on a custom URL. I don't know. So I don't know how that all works yet. I mean, I'm not planning to do a lot on Rumble. I only went over there because some people on YouTube, or they were getting hassled by YouTube about promoting certain things um, related to pipes. So they're like, we're done with YouTube. Um, go over to Rumble, but really haven't done anything over there. And I really debated even setting up an account over there, but you can watch videos, but you need an account to read any comments or comment. So there are, and there are quite a few pipe channels, but I think it's the same. It's just a copy of their YouTube channel. Outside of that, I haven't seen much going on. Yeah, I used to watch Jay Mouton a lot. In fact, he was one of the people that I followed over to Rumble. But unless he set up a different channel, I haven't really seen him do anything over there. Too much, a little bit here and there, but. And the other person really was the Pipe Nook, Eddie Gray. He was having at the time trouble with, I don't know, his e-commerce site and PayPal and all that wasn't allowing him to list tobacco blends for sale. And he didn't want to have his channel deleted, so he's really backed off doing that, which is, I understand that's YouTube's policy, but he was one of the first channels I watched, and I bought stuff from Pipe Nook a lot early on. It was a really great way to get started. He had just a nice selection that wasn't too vast. I don't know. I am on Instagram. I don't do it. I don't do a whole lot over there. I don't know if I follow Jay Mouton or not. I think I follow Pipe Nook. He doesn't really do anything over there. Well, I tell one person, Artful Codger, used to really enjoy watching his videos, and he'd do a lot of lives on YouTube as well. And I've heard that he does some lives on Instagram, but I don't think on Instagram they don't have a replay option. So if you don't catch him live, then you just don't see it. So I don't know how that works too much. I'm really not very technically inclined. I kind of get by. I've actually been dealing with some technical issues on making videos and things because, I know it doesn't really matter. We're not too into production quality. I'm not trying to do anything too high quality, but I'd like videos to be watchable, and also the more I do, the better I want them to be. Um, without, I'm not trying to sink a lot of money into this either. It's just really is a hobby, and it's more about pipes than making videos. So I actually started a stream earlier using a different webcam that I got recently, and it just lags the video too much. I only did about a minute, and then I took it down. So I went back to this one, which is okay. I think the most important thing about making videos is actually the audio. You got to have some good audio. Also, there's been a number of videos I've seen recently. People talk about old YTPC versus the new YTPC, and everyone has their opinion about it. But I really think the only difference is video quality because you'll come across videos that are well, I don't know, like 10, 12 years old talking about something. And, it's just like, what camera were, were they using? It's just, it wasn't optimized for like a lot of videos are HD now. It just wasn't really that big of a deal then. Oh, and also, I mean, a lot of people use their phone, which pretty much everybody has a smartphone with, a pretty decent camera these days. I don't know what it is. I kind of have an aversion to using my phone to do the videos. I I tried to do it, when I was getting started and made a couple really before I started doing more, and I didn't like using it. I didn't like using the phone. It's like I want I don't know, real camera. Like this works better for me. Like my best system is a webcam, laptop. I've got a microphone I can plug into the laptop, and then I just record directly to it. So, but yeah, I think that was a big year for me. 2021 was really when I was discovering a lot of new people and a lot of new channels. Because before that, there was like a handful that I would watch regularly, but wasn't. I was aware that there was a lot more people out there, but I would mainly just search for different blends or pipes or things that I was interested in, and I'd watch, whatever was out there from, you know, new video or years old. So really wasn't a thing like following people or subscribing to people. I didn't even sub to anybody for a long time. And part of that was I had a little bit of a concern, which just it's turned out to be kind of true, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, for one, I've been smoking a pipe for a few years at that point, but I didn't want to feel like, well, now I make videos or I'm in this group, and now I feel obligated to keep smoking a pipe if I really didn't want to. But um, then there's the social aspect, which is really great. Um, but I'm pretty much an introvert by nature, and my social circle is very tight, very small. Um, so to suddenly be with, you have hundreds of people out there, 1,000, I don't know. I once I once estimated about 1,000 people actively making videos. That's not based on anything. That's just a wild guess, but I mean, I know there's much more people than that out there, and I do have a hard time kind of, those people that you feel like pretty well through videos. I have a hard time keeping up with everything, and I didn't want to get burned out. I didn't want to feel pressure that wasn't doing enough, which there's no rule about it. Um, I I just watched a video from the pipe shed this week, and he was kind of talking about he hadn't smoked his pipe in a while, and he even said he felt guilty that he hadn't been watching videos. And I don't. It shouldn't really be about that at all. It's just kind of this thing we kind of come on and do, and enjoy it. And it is a great thing to have, to be able to interact with people on a live stream or through a video. And there are a lot of really good people. I mean, I most of the people I've come across are really good, and I definitely want to support them, support their channels if they're a presenter. Um, but it can become overwhelming, and I know there are people that I've watched, and you feel kind of invested in. You've invested a lot of time watching their stuff. You feel like you get to know them, and then they're they stop. They're gone. Well, that's totally their prerogative. I would never say, tell anybody like you shouldn't, you know, you should feel bad about not making videos, but I think people feel that they get overwhelmed by all. You get a lot of support. Like I said, I made that one live stream. I got a ton of support to start making videos, and I wanted to, but it took a little longer to do that. But I can't express enough, how much I appreciate people that have watched my videos, commented, subscribed. Anyone that's even watched one video or commented or what. I don't really, not too concerned about the sub numbers. Recently, within the last few weeks, I went from like was around 310, went up to 325. I'm happy with that. I don't really feel like I need more than that. I was happy to get to 100. I mean, I thought that was a big deal. Um, but I think that just kind of goes to show the kinds of people that are out there. They do want to support you and encourage more people to make videos. It's just it is impossible to keep up with everything. So I've kind of been out of the loop this winter for sure. Um, kind of step back from that. Watching a lot, you know, just to sometimes you feel like you spend all your time watching videos. Um, it's like we all have other lives outside of YouTube, and at a point where it's feeling a little stressful or pressured, then it's kind of got to step back from it. And I think people that just like they have active channels going and then they're just gone, really feel that it's like, wow, it it became something I wasn't expecting, and I have other things I need to concentrate on. But yeah, I used to like watching Jay Mouton. There's a number of pipe makers on YouTube that show the work they do, talk about their pipes. I find that really interesting. I do have a goal to get maybe get a J Mouton pipe or something someday. Um, Trying not to buy as many, although I don't think I really buy that many. It's just I have what I need, and of course I say that, and I buy two more Dr. Graybos, which kind of searching. It's one of those things you're always searching for just the right pipe or whatever, the perfect pipe, and I'm the kind of person, I'll get something and I immediately find something about it I don't like, but like just you know, chill out and just enjoy it for what it is. And I'll say about these, like I think they're great. They're great looking pipes. They are, nice classic billiard shapes. Sure, there's a couple things about them I wish were a little different, but really for the price, and it's smoking great. Like I like corn cobs too. I think I prefer briar, but cobs smoke great. I would always argue that you don't need anything more than that, but you might want more than that for whatever reason. Yeah, yeah, and I haven't even emailed him. I should just email him to see. I mean, he can do anything you want. Yeah, I have always I think like Jay Mouton general design, it really appeals to me. And I know he does some fancier things with you know he does the whale spine and different things like that. That's cool, but honestly, for me, just black stem, brown stain. I like rustication. I really do like different rustication. I think I once said in the video I like ugly pipes. Well, that's not. They have to look good to me, but I like really gnarly looking rustication type stuff, and so that's been a goal for sure. Jay Mouton. I saw Sean Room has well, I think he's had a YouTube channel for a long time, but he's been putting more on there. I actually haven't checked in a little while, but it was Slow Mo Randy first introduced me to Sean Room pipes. He had one that actually he uh, he gave away not long ago in a giveaway. And I don't know if this one's getting down to the bottom, but there's a little bit more in there. Yeah, Phil Rivara too, especially he's really active in live streams, and I think he's pretty active on Instagram as well. I think one of the cool things about this is you can kind of get to know, or at least see the person that's making your pipe if you're doing a commission. Also back in 2021, LCS was, I don't know if he still does. Had some time during the day. I used to watch his live streams. He would live stream for hours during the day, and just really interesting to see the process. I know he just did a video kind of talking about he had some criticism of his design. Not in a You can have constructive criticism for sure. And his design may not appeal to you, but it wasn't in a positive way. So yeah, I mean, I think he makes good pipes as far as good smokers. Whether or not you're somebody that likes his design, I mean that's subjective. He makes a lot of different styles, and I think it's kind of amazing to see the variety he does, because some people may specialize in classical shapes. Other people may specialize in more freehand style or whatever. But he kind of he does a little bit of everything, and at the same time, it's his style. You look at it, and it distinctly looks like an LCS Briar. Now, is the one that you have, is it a? I know he does a lot of 9 millimeter filter pipes, but I'm sure he can do anything if you ask. Yeah, yeah, I know. I know the person who had. I don't think he made a video about it, but he had made some comments about it. He he has some brash comments about different things. I mean, if Simon's not an artisan pipe maker, what is he? He's he's not a factory. He doesn't run a factory in his shop. But because he hadn't done like years in an apprenticeship and all that, yeah, I get the point that it was trying to be made, but I think Simon made a really good response to it. Why does it matter? Now, if someone was on YouTube making pipes and they were presenting themselves as this great artist and pipe maker, and their pipes were just, they weren't good. They weren't good pipes functionally, or they had problems. That might be a reason to call somebody out. But just because you don't like their design, or you don't think they qualify as an artisan, I don't think it's worth the conversation to me. I'm not. I don't want to get involved in that. I think Simon can handle himself and seems to do pretty well. Like he was saying, he was like, he's had a lot of people that come back to him time and time again. If he didn't make a good pipe, they wouldn't do that. And I think a lot of people, there's something interesting when you start smoking a pipe. They sell the hobby blocks and everything. People want to make their own pipe, or at least try their hand at pipe making, even if they're not going to do it as a business. It's interesting because yeah, you don't have to buy it. You could make all your own pipes, even if they were crudely constructed. You don't need to buy anything really. I haven't watched the video he did for Big Phil. I saw the thumbnails come up, but haven't gotten back to those. Be interested in seeing what he has to say. Because I, for one, am I like classical shapes. I mean, that's kind of what I'm into for briar pipes, or I don't have a meerschaum. It's kind of been a loose goal. I have a hard time. I want to try out a good one, and they can be kind of pricey, so it's hard to put the money down for something you don't know if you're really going to like. I mean, I've had plenty of pipes that I bought, and for one reason or another, they really weren't for me. That is one reason this year I kind of just want to just kind of take it easy and kind of just stick with what I have. And I just bought a couple gray bows because they are just tried and true, and I like the shape, I like the design, and they just work. Yeah, I think Eddie Gray did. He's got a couple old videos where he was showing a hobby block that, yeah, he just smoked it without doing anything to it. That was a few years ago. I thought about getting some briar and trying to make a pipe, but I didn't make it that far. That was probably right after I started watching like LCS, um, because he really makes it look pretty easy. I know it's not easy. Yeah, I think if you're gonna make a pipe, you got to be pretty passionate about it. Um, yeah, yeah, Chip, I've noticed that, and I don't know if you were here earlier in the stream when I was talking about, or maybe I didn't mention it. Maybe I made a video, Yabo, my these gray bows here, and I said the one thing about cheaper pipes that I really don't like is the stem work. Like, I have come to really appreciate a nicely shaped, nice slim button area. I mean, it doesn't affect smokability at all, but it's just a personal preference. I like how it feels. So these gray bows are a tad, they're a tad thick. That's a fine detail that I really do appreciate that, and that's one thing you just can't tell from looking at a picture online. I would hope that if you bought an artisan pipe, that they understand that. Of course, they make pipes to their preference too. So if somebody makes a larger button, they like a larger button. So I like to watch Bremen Pipe Smoker. That's another channel I really get into. Hey, Devious Piper, good to see you. And of course, he's a big Meerschaum fan, and he's I don't know if he's talked about it, but he has a custom stem maker. So basically, every pipe that he gets, he has a custom stem made for it. And I know one of the interviews that he did with the guy from Black Meerschaum, or I've seen him in a maybe it was another interview, but the the guy that owns Black Meerschaum, he has talked about the carvers in Turkey are not even pipe smokers. So while they do really good work and they make these really good meerschaum pipes, they don't smoke a pipe. And the stem is almost an afterthought. Like, it needs a stem, so they put a stem on it. Yeah, and to me, I'll say, besides the looks of a pipe, because you kind of have to like how it looks. To me, the drilling is really important. I mean, out of all the factory pipes I have, some are a little bit off, but they still smoke good. Um, so the drilling is important, and that button is really important. I mean, it really has to be well done. And I mean that I think that's hard because I think everyone probably has their own preference. And it's probably one of the things that has the least attention paid to it. Like in this example, I'm sure, Dr. Grabo uses a molded stem. They might do a little bit of shaping and sanding, um, but I doubt they do a whole lot here. Yeah, I was gonna. Here's I mean, the Savinelli Series 3, which was, one of their very affordable options. This has a really thick. This has a really thick button on it. Smokes great, and for what it cost, it's a great pipe. I mean, I would pay a little more to guarantee that that was done well. And I've had other, more expensive Savinellis that they are better done, but they're still not quite what I would want. And I have occasionally, shaped and sanded a button a little bit, with success, varying degrees of success. But I've never used a P-lip pipe. That one time I was interested. I don't think I'd go for it anymore. Just doesn't seem like my type of thing. Yeah, I've been looking for a Canadian for a long time. Um, I mean, I've seen some that I like. Um, I just haven't bought any yet. Oh, Devious Piper. I'm sure you will acquire one at some point. Yeah, I've heard about the P lips are good clenchers. They're good for clenching. I am not really that much of a clencher, although I do it a little bit. Um, I just tend to prefer to hold a pipe. I usually sitting, but even if I'm standing, I just like to hold it. Is a Lovat a Canadian? I would say no. A Lovat is a Lovat. Um, Similar. So, what makes a Canadian shape Canadian? I think part of it is, it kind of has that oval stem, shank, you know, long oval shank, and then a short, bit stem, whatever. Yeah, definitely related. So, Canadian, lumberman, I think Liverpool and Lovat are all kind of in that same family, just minor differences in the shaping. Yeah, I think it needs to have that oval shank to be a Canadian. Savinelli does some nice ones. Um, 802 and 804 are, I think, are the numbers. Yeah, I've been looking for a long time too. I just haven't. I mean, I've seen some I liked. It just, yeah, it's like, do I need to buy another one right now? Okay, yeah, they have the saddle bits too, the saddle stems, which I actually like a saddle stem billiard. I think because they tend to be like they don't taper as much as just a regular billiard. They're a little wider in the stem. Yeah, I go back and forth. I mean, I like both. I got a number of pipes laying around here, but one of my favorite pipes is Savinelli 114. That's got a nice. This is the Roma Lucite. And this is a fairly large pipe. It's about as I don't like large pipes, but this is about as large as I would go and still enjoy it. Um, but this one always just felt really nice and comfortable. I didn't do anything to it. Um, I think the Roma Lucite's are a really great value. Now the Roma, it's a different story. They put the ebonite stems on those, and I think it just depends on who made it. How that button's going to be shaped. Um, I've got some Savinellis with Roma ebonite stems that feel pretty good, and other ones that are quite thick, I would say. Yeah, Lucite's really nice. I think I've got three. Two of them. I've got the 114. I've got a 111 and a 315. The 111, I don't know if it was ever quite. I don't know that the drilling is off on that, but it's one I don't really like. Just never felt right to me. So I don't smoke that one. But I think it smokes good, but it just kind of fell off my preference list. All right, so I am switching to the Dr. Graybo. This is a Grand Duke billiard, and we'll do the first smoke on this one. I'll stick with the Captain Black Platinum, I think, because that was smoking really good. Yeah, 673. I have the Roma, just the ebonite version of the 673. I actually won from Eddie Gray in a giveaway, and that one's done pretty well. I'd say I wish it was shaped a little better on the stem, but it's not bad. I've always been meaning to pick up the Roma Lucite version, but I haven't done it yet. I don't know why. I guess probably because I find other ones I like more, and it just gets. I feel like I don't need to buy another because I've got the Roma 673, and I've got a Rossi Rubino 673. I think that was an early one. I got Rossi 626, and then I got this Rossi 673. And that's a shape I really do like. And I was introduced to it, through matches. Not only do I like the shape of the pipe, but I appreciate how kind of thick that bowl gets. Keeps it nice and cool in your hand, I guess. But I guess if it just came down to it, I would just like a straight billiard, just a very classic straight billiard. I don't have a 320. I have a 321, which is just a bit smaller. I almost bought a 320 early on, but looking back on it now, I don't think I would like it. Um, I think the bowl is a little bigger than I would appreciate, and now, yes, I think it would have a chunkier stem than I would appreciate. Yeah, when Eddie Gray had the tribute pipe made, he was able to get the 860, which at the time I didn't get in on that. I was just kind of at a point where it was a little it was priced a little more than the regular. I mean, you can buy the regular Roma lucite. I didn't want to spend the extra money on it, and I don't know. It was kind of a internal debate. I mean, I didn't really want to buy it, and it was like, yeah, I could buy it, but I wasn't really looking to buy anything at the time. Of course, the Roma lucite 673 was the Friday Savinelli. The original Friday Savinelli was one of the they didn't call it Series 3, but was Savinelli seconds, just bare briar. And then I think he picked up some more. So he had a Duca Carlo, which I don't think Savinelli makes Duca Carlo anymore, but it was like it was a seconds line. It looks the same on video. I think he said he had about 5 of them that he would use because it became so iconic for his videos. Hey JD Pipe Dreams, welcome. Just chilling out on a Saturday, doing a bit of a live. Obviously, you can see random pipe lounge. It's the random pipe lounge. Get on, talk about anything. I like to have an idea of what I'm doing, but I have no idea what I'm doing. Just talking about anything and everything was kind of my first experience thing I did with posting on YouTube or doing on YouTube was a live stream about almost 3 years ago. So I've been thinking about that, and I had a couple Dr. Graybos come in, and I thought, I should do a live stream, and very first smokes of my new Graybos will be on live stream. Very cool. Yeah, I haven't Saturday night's kind of a weird time for me. I know there are some lives that go on, like I'm Just Chris does a live stream. Usually by Saturday night, I'm kind of done with pipes for the day. So I don't watch a lot of pipe videos if I'm not enjoying a pipe. I think that's one thing about live streams that's interesting, because when you sit down and make a video, you probably should have a good idea of what you're going to talk about. Otherwise, it's just not going to be a very good video. But with a live stream, a lot of it's influenced by the chat conversation. Packers 49ers, yeah. I'll see if I can stop by. I don't really have any plans right now, but that may change. I might be going to a basketball game later. I'm not sure, but if I'm online, I'll try and stop by for sure. I think it's a good live stream is a great medium to interact with people. Alrighty. Yeah, Stumbo's family gathering. Tuesday, it's just a weird time of year too, because when it's pretty nice out, I'll go out in the garage. I'll have YouTube pulled up and have a pipe. And right now, especially, we are in the depths of winter, and I don't really want to go sit outside and have a pipe. Yeah, as far as football goes, all my teams are all out of it. I'm primarily a Bears fan, and then most of my family's from Minnesota, so I kind of got to go with the Vikings on that one. But of course, none of them like the Packers. um, I'll say I appreciate the Packers and how they've done pretty well, and the Bears being so terrible, like it's just no competition right now. Yeah, I'm an Iowan, so I don't have a. The only team I have is Iowa Hawkeyes, so um, we get to choose our professional teams, I guess. I've always felt more drawn to Chicago area. I did live there for a while, but even before that, I always felt kind of drawn to the Chicago teams. Oh wow! So you lived up by Duluth. Um, been up there one time. I did some work at the what do they call it? There's a well, it was out of Ely, Minnesota, the Boy Scout Boundary Waters area. Did some trail work up there in the summer. It's not where I'd want to be in the winter right now. I don't have a dog sled. What happened to the Hawkeyes? They had no offense all year. Uh, I wasn't surprised at the score, but I was hoping they would score at least some points. Yeah. Well, when the season started, at least they had. They lost some players along the way. Um, Luche and McNamara, and then Cooper DeJean got hurt too later in the season. So the Hawkeyes didn't have anybody. You know, it, it was a it wasn't a good outcome in the best scenario. But we're looking to next year, right? Football wise, I think basketball is on right now. I think the men's team, they got a lot of new players together right now, so kind of seeing how they're doing. Iowa women, I don't think there's been more interest in women's basketball, college basketball, than there is right now with Caitlin Clark. Yeah, it is northern Minnesota. It is a beautiful country. My family is from Austin, Minnesota, so it's fairly south. But like my aunt and uncle, they have. I can't remember where their cabin is. They had a cabin more up north. And then I have another uncle that has a cabin up north, but I've never been there. I'm not sure. I know that's the thing in Minnesota. Everyone has a cabin up north, right? Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I've never been to Canada really. Like I said, I was at the Boundary Waters, so I saw Canada from the US, but I think maybe we touched it. That's a thing to do. Oh, you go touch Canada or something. Going north and south is pretty nice. I like the southwest. Uh, Again, I did some trail work in New Mexico with the Boy Scouts years ago, and I really liked it. Being uh, well, it wasn't really the desert there, but kind of the in the region. I like the environment. Oh, very nice. Fishing in Thunder Bay or the area there. Not much of a fisherman myself. We went on some trips when I was younger, but never really stuck with me. Yeah, I've done a little bit. A fishing trip is more of an excuse just to get away from everyone else. I think more than just the fishing. Yeah, very cool. And the wildlife up there is great. Been a long time since I did any kind of camping or anything, but I used to really be into it. Whitefish Lake. One of the fishing trips we did was around Whitefish. I think there was kind of a family connection. Years ago, my dad and uncle they went on a trip up in that area, so we kind of went back. I don't think we were specifically on Whitefish Lake, but it was around there. Yeah, devious, but excuse me. I've heard a little bit about Vancouver Island. It sounds really interesting. I don't know if I'd ever get there, but it's a place I'd like to go one day, if possible. Never, never been surfing either. Excuse me. I think my surfing days may be behind me if I was ever going to try it, but I would have done it at one time. Yeah, the trees have to be amazing up in that area. Well, I'll say not much to report on the pipes. They smoke great. They have a little bit of that new pipe taste, but it's barely there. It'll be gone within another bowl or two, I'm sure. I definitely think I'm going to spend some time with these pipes, get them good and broken in. And it is a filter. It has a 6 millimeter filter, and right now these come with a paper filter. which when that one's used up, I'll switch it to a balsa filter. Every once in a while, I'll buy a pack of those paper filters, and I don't know, they're okay, but given the option, I think the balsa filter works a lot better for me. I just ordered 100 more. Um, that was a while ago. I got 100 more balsa filters, which I ordered 100 from Eddie Gray, like, well, coming up on 4 years ago, and it took a long time to go through those because I don't change it every time. Yeah, I have a box of the 6 millimeter charcoal filters, and I've only used them a few times, and I should get those out and try them again because the ones I had is like I don't like a tight draw, so if it if it restricts the draw too much, I don't want to use them, but I might try them again. I've got cobs that should work. Actually, well, last year in the codger challenge, I had a cob. I was gonna use the 6 millimeter filters, but the stem had kind of shrunk a bit, so they wouldn't fit in there. But I should give them a try because I don't dislike them. I just find they might have a slightly tighter draw. Got to kind of consolidate all my pipe stuff because I've just got like boxes. I'll put some pipes and stuff go in this box, and then if I'm out in the garage, I got a box of stuff out there. I'll have a box of stuff down here, and then in like my closet, I kind of keep stuff that's all in a box. It's kind of spread around. I actually got this old pantry. I think I got it from IKEA. It's just this, basically a plywood pantry used to store dishes in an apartment I had. I still have it. I was gonna throw it away, but it ended up moving with me, and I that would be like a good like pipes and tobacco storage for somewhere in the house. And Piper said I don't have any estate gray bows. I've looked at a lot of them. I've never ended up buying any. I think if I found one local, like at an antique store or something, I might buy it. Yeah, I could put that pantry just like somewhere over here, and I'd have all my stuff right here. But like I do change where I smoke pipes. Just a lot of times it's outside, but right now it's downstairs in the basement. So I was actually looking to just like buy an old estate pipe off eBay and try cleaning it up. Nothing too far gone, but something that could use a good reaming and polish, and just as something to do. The only thing I wonder about is like the older Greybows have that like I don't know if that's considered a stinger that they have in the stem. I don't know how I would like that. I think they come out, but and I'd want to fit a filter in there. I did get an estate pipe last year. It was my oh, I have it here actually. This is a BBB, Britain's Best Briar. It's a really nice pipe. It is unfiltered. I just find I don't think I'm not prone to tongue bite or anything, but I do notice if I use an unfiltered pipe that it's a lot easier to get tongue bite. And I also just find the taste with even a balsa filter is just kind of rounded out a little bit. I definitely prefer that. But there's a lot of nice unfiltered pipes. I have a handful. I wouldn't mind adding like an old Graybo or Medico or K Woody or something um, to the collection. Yeah, I don't know. I've never used a pipe with a stinger either. I think the idea was, it kind of keeps the airway up off, the bottom of the draft hole, so you're not getting any moisture up in there. And a lot of those old Graybos, they kind of screw together, and that stinger is kind of part of that system. And I would like to get an old Graybo. When I was, when I visited the Linkman building, I was looking on eBay at, well before that, I've been looking on eBay for like an old Linkman pipe or something. Maybe more as a curiosity rather than I would have to smoke it at least one time, of course. But I do find like pipe history really interesting. I mean, I like history in general, and then pipe history, and an estate pipe that's whatever 50, 80 years old. That has been through the hands of a number of people. So even a factory pipe, somebody made that. Somebody made that years ago or weeks ago. Somebody bought it or was gifted that pipe. They smoked it and enjoyed it for who knows how long. Especially you see those old estates that are really crusty looking. Somebody really enjoyed that pipe. Oh, very nice. That is an old pipe. Yeah, I find that connection to history really interesting. Like personal items, things that people used every day. They held in their hands and they just went about their daily lives and they used whether it's a pipe or a knife or whatever. There's a channel on YouTube I haven't watched in a while, but Mudlark. She she's in London, but she goes out and finds um, all kinds of stuff in the river, and she finds a lot of old clay pipes, that were thrown away because they were considered disposable. And it's crazy to think that you have something that was thrown away, 200 or more years ago, and that is one thing I don't have. I don't have a clay pipe, and I don't know that I'd really. I don't know if it's really my thing either. I've heard they get really hot. Um, I've heard they smoke really good. Like you can really taste the blend, but that they get really hot. And I wouldn't. I don't think I'd like the feel of the pipe. Oh, really cool. Yeah, old furniture is another thing that's particularly interesting. That was used. Something that was used a lot. Yeah. Hmm. This pipe's nice and cool. I tend to puff a little hard, at times, but that's another thing I work on is, cadence or whatever you call it. But this pipe is not hot at all. Smokes effortlessly. And tastes great. I can still taste a little bit of like a tiny bit of bowl coating, but it's not too bad. Probably going to be wrapping this up here shortly. When this pipe is done, I'll probably be done. We got a little bit of time here, but I do appreciate everyone definitely stopping in just for an impromptu live stream. I don't go live regularly, so I never know who's going to stop by or how many people. And honestly, I have to be prepared that nobody will come in. So, oh yeah, definitely have a good time on a live. A lot of times I'll watch a live and the chat's just going so good and people are having a good time. I don't even say hello. Um, you can go in chat, you say hi to some people and you don't want to leave anybody out. Kind of where my lurker mentality comes in. I like to observe, like, go to a public place and people watch. That's interesting. I'd love to meet up with Patrick in Times Square and enjoy a pipe and people watch for a while. Hmm. And like I said, I don't know exactly what I have going on later. If I can stop by J&D, if you're doing a live stream tonight, I'll definitely try and stop by, and I'll leave a comment and say hello. Even I'll break out of my lurker lifestyle. That was what was hard about making the first video. Is like I don't know that I want to put myself on the internet like this. It's just it's such a weird feeling, but it's also a bit freeing to make a video and then just put it out there. I never planned to make regular videos. I have a loose schedule. I try to make a video a week, but I never thought I would even be that active. I thought I might do a video you know every few months. But once I started doing it, it's a it's a bit addicting. And once I started, you go to your page and you see your videos, it's like, oh, I want to have enough videos to make it look like I have a real channel going. So I had a goal last year to do 35 to 40 videos as a start to kind of get used to doing videos and kind of get my process down. Um, and I did that. I did over. Well, I met my goal last summer. I did 40 videos, so it was a personal accomplishment, and I definitely have expectations on what I want to put out without trying to be too much of a perfectionist on it. To invest the time in doing. Some people do really good videos, and it looks like they it comes very natural. Um, I'm sure some of them do a lot of work behind the scenes, and it's like, how much time do you have to put into it? Or, I'm not looking to put a lot of money into this. I just do this for fun. So, yeah, people watching is, it's like, who's watching me? Well, right now, I know. Like when you're out in public, who's watching you? Now, cameras everywhere, of course. All right, this one's about done. It's a little bit left in the bottom, but again, I think I'm gonna. Yeah, it's one thing. I haven't gone out with my pipes really. It's kind of just something I do at home. It's kind of a personal thing. I don't know if I'd feel comfortable doing it. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it that much. It's just kind of something I do for myself at home, or if I do go meet somebody. Um, Cat Dad Piper. We get together when we can, and I'll meet up with my brother, and we get together and have a good time. He doesn't. I try to get him in the pipe smoking a little bit. He likes. Uh, he normally does black and mild cigars. We used to smoke cigars a lot together. Yeah, yeah. Well, we've got International Pipe Smoking Day coming up. I think is that February 20th. So it's a month away. That's an excellent opportunity to get out and offend some people with your pipe smoking, I guess. But people usually have kind of a nostalgic reaction to seeing a pipe, as something from days gone by, or something they grandfather used to do, or whatever. But yeah, it's still very much around. So there's definitely that opportunity. All right. Yeah, I got a whole tub of Prince Albert. Well, partial tub because I've been smoking it, but that's one of my go-tos. That's really become a go-to. Really, the codger blends are my thing. It's like Carter Hall, Prince Albert, Sir Walter Raleigh. That was part of my Yabo. I've got 7 ounces right here. Kind of holding on to that. Thought is when the codger challenge comes up again, I think I'm going to go with that. Or I've got a whole tub of Edward G. Robinson, which I like okay. I don't know if I could dedicate 30 days to that alone. Yeah, Prince Albert. In fact, the Paladin Piper, he talked about Captain Black Platinum. Him and Michigan Piper both thought it was reminiscent of older versions of Prince Albert from like the 30s. So I had to try it. I don't know. I haven't had anything of that vintage, so I can't speak to that. I could see how it could be reminiscent from something from that time because it's not really an aromatic. It doesn't have as much of a cocoa topping as modern Prince Albert does, for sure. It's it's a smooth, pleasant smoking blend. It's I'd say a light aromatic, fairly dry for an aromatic. Perfect moisture in the pouch is what I would say. Um, Not vanilla, more of an amaretto cocoa mixture, maybe. But I'm enjoying it. I got 2 pouches, and I'm only on the first one, so I've got more of that. Oh, the other Man, now we're getting on the blends, and I was thinking about ending it, but the Missouri Meerschaum blends. Um, I've had American Patriot, Country Gentleman, and the Missouri Pride. Those are all really nice. Um, I mean, they're kind of OTC codgery type. They don't have like that humectant uh, PG topping on it. They're pretty dry. They're not aromatics. They're pretty natural. So highly recommend those if that's something that you like. I tend to prefer something a little more on the natural side. Virginia Burley, Perique, Dark Fired Kentucky. That's kind of where I really enjoyed in that whole vein. No, that's interesting. I've never had Northwoods. I haven't. I was gonna say I haven't had anything from Boswell, but maybe a sample that Cosmo had. Maybe. Um, been looking to maybe order some things from them. I know they have a cherry premium burley. I think I okay. I take it back. I have had a sample of premium burley. But as I find with all blends, really a sample is not enough. It's enough to know if you hate it. Um, but to really get to know a blend, I think you got to smoke through a couple ounces, really spend some time with it. I'll have to get some because it's one of those blends that I hear about. I'm not I'm not that much in a lot of Kia. Although this last year I found I am coming around to kind of like crossover blends that are kind of light on a lot of Kia that are more kind of in the background. I really did enjoy those. Um, I think it'd be worth trying. I definitely think it'd be worth picking some up. And I've got a lot that I acquired this last year. I don't really sell or anything, so I don't like to sit on it. But I've got enough that I should probably jar some of it up and maybe think about picking some new ones up. Also, Boswell, LJ Peretti is another place I'd like to get some from. Yeah, there's too many. There's too many I want to try, but I always find myself going back to the ones that I really enjoy. I think once you find blends that you really like, really enjoy, really connect with it, it's hard to get away from those. And I now I'm not a one blend guy. I'm not that codgery, but give me five, like five blends that I really enjoy in a rotation, and I think I could probably live with that. Yeah. So let me think. Besides codger blends, things from Peterson, I like Sherlock Holmes. That's really at the top of my list. I do like University Flake. I ended up getting a lot of flakes last year. I typically don't go for flakes that often. But I say that, and then one of my favorite blends is also Old Dark Fired. Comes in a flake that does come in bulk, but I've never had the bulk version. That's another one I'd like to try to see what the difference is between the bulk and the tin. Oh wow, yeah, I don't know how many I have open, but that's a lot. I'm kind of careless with the tobacco, so I've got some I should jar up, and I've got one. I've got a tin of Kendall Cream Flake that I got well over a year ago now, and I rubbed it out in in a pouch, and now that's pretty dry. And it's still good, but it doesn't have much flavor left. That was a gift from Doing It Wrong. Sent that to me, and it was interesting because that's a Lakeland. Well, at least it says it's a Lakeland, and I was a little concerned because of all the there's a lot of negative reviews on Lakeland. Well, some people love them, but I don't think I'm really a Lakeland guy. Well, that's pretty mild. That's a very mild herbal topped flake. It's almost like I do describe it as like a root beer type flavor. Um, Mixture 79s. I've had it again, just a sample, but I don't remember much about it. I don't think I got a whole lot of flavor out of it. So the candle cream is pretty inoffensive. Um, in general, those Samogawith blends, I don't prefer them. They come like they're really good quality tobacco for sure, but they come in pretty thick flakes, well, at least in my experience, and they hold moisture well. I have a hard time getting them lit and keeping them lit. I like nice, loose, ribbon cut, rough cut, whatever that you can just pack your bowl, tamp it a bit, and light it. I don't really like to mess with flakes, um, but it's good. I will admit that the flavor is a little more intense and it comes through, and I understand why people like it. So yeah, just give me a big old bag of loose cut. Something like this. This is Low Country Hazelnut, which I'd never had before. But I ordered 4 ounces of it, and it's okay. Um, it's very codgery. Um, it does have a pretty good hazelnut like bag note. Pretty light on flavor. It's a good thing just to pack and smoke. Um, I've been having that down here. I've got John Marr just sitting over there. The bulk version of John Marr does not have a lot of vanilla left in it. I had a tin when I first got it. I had a tin, and that had a lot more vanilla topping. Um, it did dissipate eventually, but that's an interesting one because is it Virginia Burley Turkish, Cavendish, and vanilla topping. Um, Paladin said he didn't really like it. I get that. It's a nice change for me. It's just a little different. I think it's the Turkish. It's kind of an interesting something I haven't delved into is Turkish or Balkan blends. I just got into English a little bit, so all right. Well, my pipe is done. I think I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream. Been going for 1 hour 49 minutes. Thank you to everyone that came in, commented, or even if you're here and didn't comment. I appreciate you watching. Gives me encouragement to keep doing this. I do enjoy it. I kind of just do it for myself, really. But it's a good way to connect with people. And I mean, the support always helps. So, all right. Appreciate you stopping in again. I just want to say, I hope you have a good pipe, something good to go in it. Take the time to take care of yourself. And I will see you in the next one. Take care for now. Yeah, take care and happy smokes. So, goodbye. Trying to end it.